So lately I've been hearing a lot about Mugler's Over the Musk, that it's like one of the best, most amazing musks ever created. And it's getting a lot of hype and attention right now because it was discontinued, but now it is back. And so let's go over it because for a $300 plus bottle, I think that deserves some attention. So I had really no plan on even buying or trying out Over the Musk. I was hearing about it and figured, maybe I would get around to it. But because I recently purchased Angel Blush, I received Over the Musk as a sample. So first, let's talk about what does it actually smell like. This is for sure a slightly spicy, like peppery, woody musk that, in my opinion, doesn't have a lot of sweetness to it. The notes overall are very straightforward and just basic: musk, ambrette, cashmere wood, and black pepper. It literally does smell like a blend of all of those. I'm very surprised by the high praise and almost cult following that this fragrance has. I feel like I'm missing something. I think it's an okay smell. I think it's nice. It definitely feels refined. It feels elegant. It shows up well on the skin in terms of the initial spray. But it doesn't smell like, the most amazing musk ever that has something to it that we can't get on the market. A fragrance that I find to be a little bit similar, but better and definitely better performing is Angel Dust Extrait. I've been sampling Angel Dust Extrait, honestly, for maybe now over 2 months. And I think I've finally decided that I am gonna bring it to the family. I haven't tried the original Angel Dust, believe it or not. I've always heard that the performance on that one is really weak, so I just wasn't even interested. But Angel Dust Extrait is a very strong, very loud, projecting, woody, slightly spicy type of scent profile. I would definitely say it's this fragrance on like steroids, but it's that type of scent profile. I feel like I can smell a lot of similarities between the two. My main issue with this fragrance is, like I mentioned, I don't think there's anything spectacular about the overall scent DNA. It's just a woody musk. But the performance on this is atrocious. I feel like you really can smell it within the first 30 minutes or so. And then it really, really, really fades away. Now, before you say it's a musk and, a lot of musky scents, ambrette, blah, 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 of course, it's very, very easy to go nose blind to them. But this is not just even for me. I did a full wear test where I sprayed it on one hand, and I did my current favorite musk of all time, Another 13, on the other hand. And Another 13 is a fragrance that I go nose blind to very, very easily. So I was like, maybe it's just, the fact that it's like a musky type of scent. So I did them both on one hand, and I had my husband smell both of them 3 different times. Initially, when he smelled both of them, at first he liked the Over the Musk better. Upon the first spray, he said he liked the extra woodiness that he got. Okay, cool. About 35 to 40 minutes later, I had him smell them both again. At this point, I could tell that I could still pick up Another 13 fairly well, but Over the Musk was almost like a complete shell of itself. And I had him try to smell the same thing because he wasn't, in my scent bubble. He should not be nose blind to it. And he said the same, that Over the Musk was super, super weak at that point, that he could barely smell it, but he could still smell Another 13 a lot. And at that point, he picked Another 13 as the overall better scent profile. It was sweeter, it was smoother, it had more going on. It had more of that, ethereal vibe that you get from Another 13. Whereas Over the Musk was just like a light, woody scent. I don't know. I don't get the hype on this one. And you know what? If this was a fragrance that was like priced like a Middle Eastern fragrance, right? If it was $45, $50, I would say, okay, that's fine if you want to have that type of performance. This is more than $300, just like Another 13. For more than $300, I'm sorry, my friend, you gotta perform a little bit better than that. The bar is higher for that type of price point, which I think is fair. I think it's insane that we have fragrances that don't perform well at extremely high price points, which I'm curious, guys, how do you feel about that? If you have a fragrance that is, really expensive and it's a musky scent, a lot of these skin scents, musk scents are very soft. They may not project off the skin in a beast mode fashion. How do you feel about that? Are you okay as long as you can slightly smell it? Or are you okay if other people can smell it, but you can't smell it? Just wondering your take on that. But anyways, it was just horrible performance and the actual scent profile was nothing amazing. So it's not a scent that I will be adding onto my collection as a full-size bottle type of, option. Again, I'm very surprised by the praise, but hey, I'm grateful that Mugler added it as a sample and that I could try it out. So I would never have to wonder, for the rest of my life, what does Over the Musk by Mugler smell like? And why are so many people sad that it was discontinued? I really wonder if, at that time when it came out, I feel like the musk obsession that we're in right now was not at its peak at that point when it was discontinued. and maybe people were looking for stronger smells. A brand does not discontinue a fragrance typically if it's one of their best sellers. So obviously it must not have been selling a lot. And I wonder if they took a DNA that was liked a lot by a small niche of people that they discontinued because it wasn't a bestseller, and then they brought it back now because of the trend with musk. I'm also seeing with Mugler, they're coming out with these 3 new scents. I forget, I think that's the Starlicious trio. One of them is called like pineapple musk, and I completely forget what the other 2 are, but they're coming out with these 3 different fragrances. They just came out with Angel Blush. So I'm wondering if they're, looking to kind of catch a little bit of the traffic and the audience that are currently into musk fragrances. And they're like, let's bring back this musk scent that a lot of people liked, but wasn't a big seller. Maybe it'll be a bestseller right now. And who knows, maybe it will be. But for me, at that price point and that performance, no thank you, ma'am. So let me know, guys, if that is one that you will be looking into, if you've ever smelled Over the Musk and what you think of it. Would you rank it as one of the best musks ever created? And I will see you guys back tomorrow for our next episode.